Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship returned for 2021 after a COVID-19 enforced break, spanning New Zealand from Otago in the deep south, Timaru in South Canterbury, Napier in the east of the North Island, and Whangarei in the sunny north, before COVID-19 once again pulled the handbrake on the final round in Coromandel. Hi and welcome to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship season review as we look back at 2021. I'm joined by Nzrc boss Blair Bartels. Mate, been a great year, hasn't it?
And what a place to come and look back at it. You know, Jack's Ridge, we've got the big rally sprint here, 5th and 6th of February, and of course the WRC coming back here in October. This will be the power stage.
Yeah, 2022, so much to look forward to. Some new cars coming as well, which is going to be really exciting for the championship. But let's go back to the start of this season, April, Rally Otago, after that long COVID-enforced break. It was great to be back out on stages and great to see our biggest name, Hayden Paddon, out there competing again. So 7 stages a day with bonus points for the top 5 finishes each day. Day 1 using stages around Lawrence. Day 2 uses the stages around Waihola and Berwick Forest. The amazing Curry Bush stage to end the rally. Hayden wasting no time, setting a new stage record at 10 minutes 55.7 seconds. Emma Gilmore had a positive build-up to the rally with new co-driver Mel Peden, and she'd like to take the challenge to Paddon over the morning stages.
And after a lot of work over the off-season and heartbreak with engine failures in 2019, the team's decided to go to the Motorsport New Zealand approved Joker engine in this car, which is a crate-built engine and should bring a lot of reliability to the package.
Paddon was in charge by stage 3 though, smashing the 49-kilometre stage record by a minute 43.
20, 5 to left plus. Very long right, tightens half 6, straightens, 100.
Gilmore was comfortably in second going into stage 3, but her luck ran out again, the car dying mid-stage with an electrical fault, and was all over for day 1. Mel Peden delivering the bad news. Ben Hunt is defending his 2019 championship. After trailing Gilmore and Jack Hawkswood on stage 1, he moved to second place by the end of stage 2. Dylan Turner only 5th on the opening stage, but the Aldi driver pushed hard on stage 3 to overtake Hunt for second position.
And that's great reward for a car that was literally only finished the Wednesday morning before the event and ready to send from one end of the country to the other.
80, keep it. 7 left, 7 right.
Jack Hawkswood, the first of the second generation drivers, and after leading Hunt on stage 1, he dropped time in stage 3 with soft brakes, but still enjoyed the stage. Canterbury siblings Matt and Nicole Summerfield in the ex-Brian Green Mirage AP4, and they'd move up to 4th place, just a second behind Hunt by the end of the morning stages.
Matt did get the opportunity to use this car at this rally in 2019. Loved it so much, he's obviously in it now.
Small crease 30, 2 right.
Another second generation driver, Robbie Stokes, moving up from his 2019 R2 Fiesta, just 1.8 seconds back from Summerfield. So a few dramas in the morning, but Hayden Paddon, the clear leader, over 2 minutes ahead after 3 stages from Dylan Turner, and just 7 seconds separating the next 4. Paddon continued his dominant form throughout the afternoon stages, stretching his lead to 3 minutes and giving himself a safe buffer should anything go wrong. But behind him, Robbie Stokes was on a charge, taking the second place position on stage 6, the stage time 16 seconds faster than Ben Hunt. Those 16 seconds also dropping Hunt out of the top 3 for the first time as Dylan Turner held on to 3rd place. Turner trying a new tyre on this rally and finding some good speed.
And great to see Dylan's spectacular sideways driving style is still out there.
5th place for Matt Summerfield, but he had a 20-second time penalty from service, which cost him a top 3 position. Josh Marston had been 6th, but lost that position to Jack Hawkswood, who was clawing back the 30 seconds he'd lost on stage 3. Regan Ross in the first of the R5 cars in his Fiesta, sitting in 8th. Former Rally Challenge winner Grant Blackberry was 9th in his Mitsubishi Evo 10. Behind him came the two Category 1A cars of Matt Adams and Todd Borden. These cars no longer qualify for the Gold Star Rally Championship, but still compete in the four-wheel drive class. Adams is a past Rally Challenge winner as well. Todd Borden is using the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6 that he won Rally Otago in 2003.
And Todd does have a brand new car on the way, a Ford Fiesta R5. But if he keeps having moments like this, he might need it sooner.
Kingsley Jones in the Skoda R5 next.
And Kingsley's the first one to admit he doesn't like the wide open, fast roads of Otago. And I don't think that's helped his love of the rally.
After some health battles, it's great to see title sponsor Brian Green back competing at the ripe old age of 73. Brian had a challenging day learning the new car, the one that Shane van Gisbergen piloted to win at Jack's Ridge last year. Duncan Mcrostie debuting the ex-Hawkswood Championship winning Mazda 2, pretty happy with his day one pace. It's the traditional street sprint to end day one and a big crowd to witness the action. The only drama, this spin by Robbie Stokes, which would cost him second place.
And it's the old story. You can't win a rally on a super special stage, but you sure can lose it.
So confirming day one results, Padden comfortably leads from Turner and Stokes. Just 2 seconds back to Ben Hunt, and it's Summerfield, Hawkswood, Marston and Regan Ross rounding out the top 8. It's day 2 of the WinMax Breaks Rally Otago, and another beautiful Otago day greets the crews as they prepare to leave Dunedin. Padden looking for a clean sweep of today's stages as they head into Berwick Forest. These roads definitely a challenge with punctures a high probability.
And just look at the difference in the road conditions day on day. Day one, big wide roads. These are narrow forestry roads, some bits even with grass up the middle.
Max, 5 left plus, 80.
And then into Waipouri Gorge, a beautiful public road stage that's so tight and twisty, unlike any other road in Dunedin, with drops into the river below.
The morning finishes with McLaren Gully along the top of the coastal hills, past the car graveyard known as Joe's Corner. Padden taking a 1:19 lead over the morning stages. Emma Gilmore back looking for day 2 points. Impressive speed again through the stages and second fastest at special stage 10. But it was Josh Marston who was holding second, fastest after the first 3 stages, just 8.6 seconds ahead of Gilmore.
And the team's done a whole heap of work on this car. There's a lot of changes over the off-season. So Josh spent most of day 1 getting used to them, and on day 2, he's ready to charge.
Dylan Turner held 4th, but was slightly down on pace compared to day 1.
And with a new tyre brand to get used to in some of these really challenging conditions, it's just one of those things Dylan's trying to get his head around as the day goes on.
Robbie Stokes 5th on stage 8, but retired at the end of stage 9 with mechanical issues. So that left Ben Hunt in 5th, but 2 minutes down on Padden after 3 stages. In the battle for the older Cat 1A cars, Todd Borden moved up to 7th after Jack Hawkswood stopped on stage 8. Borden showing he's lost none of his enthusiasm for attacking the stages in the bulletproof Evo 6. Berwick Forest would take its toll on Matt and Nicole Summerfield, forced to stop and change a tyre, and then another puncture in stage 9, dropping them out of the top 10. So at the first service for the day, Padden leads day 2 and overall. Turner's day 1 pace keeps him in 2nd, but Hunt closing, with Marston 4th in the overall standings and Regan Ross 5th. Stage 11 would be a turning point in the rally. Hayden Padden would suffer a puncture. Ben Hunt took the stage win, moving up into 2nd overall. Josh Marston follows. He's now up to 3rd overall.
3, 2, 1, go. Long kink left 30, turning 4 left over crest 80.
But as we see from Summerfield's onboard, It was much worse for Dylan Turner in the Audi.
Down crest. Jesus. 24 right. 5 right.
Back on board in
4
stage
right,
12
obstruction.
with Brian Green, and that's Emma Gilmore's sidelined with broken power steering.
Foot right plus.
And then drama in the cockpit as co-driver Fleur Pedersen
5
realised that all is not right.
Oh, we're on fire. We're on fire. We're on fire. We're on fire.
So to special stage 14 and the final stage of day 2, news that Ben Hunt is also out with engine failure. And the Dunlop driver of the rally going to Regan Ross, podium 3rd in day 2 and overall for the former winner of the Otago Classic Rally. It's been slow and steady for Josh Marston on day 1, but he pushed hard on day 2 to claim 2nd overall. No doubt about our winner and the class of the field, Hayden Padden, despite this late puncture.
Well, Hayden, first of all, congratulations, mate. I think that's safely secured you the rally. I know you've tested a little bit yourself and team tested a couple of times, but overall, pretty happy, I assume.
Yeah, obviously we've got the result. Would have been nice to have a clean sweep of stages, but obviously a couple of tyre issues today. I'm not really sure why. Obviously the roads are just a bit more abrasive and we seem to be pushing them a little bit harder, so something to look at before Whangarei. But all in all, great weekend for the team. Everyone's worked really, really hard and proud of all the boys, and not only our car, Andy, another car we run as well. So yeah, good weekend.
So confirming the overall results, a massive lead by Hayden Padden, but a great comeback by Josh Marston to take 2nd. Todd Borden, the first of the Cat 1A cars, and Duncan Mcrostie, the final finisher on a tough event to open the season. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship Season Review. A big thanks to our partners Dunlop, Heller and Amiga Rental Cars.
And what a way to start the 2021 season Otago was. Hayden Padden showed his absolute class, but that forestry was really tough and a lot of the competitors struggled. I mean, Brian Green literally catching fire. Then we went to Whangarei and it was all about, especially Ben Hunt, the defending champion, trying to put some points back on the board.
Yeah, and also showing great speed too, young Cantabrian Robbie Stokes. The rally started on Te Mato Tarpoohi Bridge, with the public mixing with the drivers before 2 stages under lights at Roy Island. Meanwhile, the competitors were enjoying a dust-free run through the stages under lights. Hayden Padden 3.7 seconds ahead of Robbie Stokes after the 2 stages, with just under 12 seconds separating the top 10. 2 loops of 4 stages make up the Saturday leg of Rally Whangarei, starting with the challenging Helena Bay stage, then Tarpoohi at 17 kilometres long, before a refuel, and then on to Marlow, this year running in reverse, then 16 kilometres of Crow's Nest before a service back at Whangarei. Light rain over the previous days, meaning little dust and perfect conditions for the opening cars. First on the road, Hayden Padden, and a pace setting 9 minutes 48, showing just how quick he can be.
And this is quite a famous corner that's caught many out before, but Hayden's just attacking with so much confidence, he makes it look easy.
Ben Hunt next in the Hydrolink Subaru, but he was 44 seconds down on Hayden, losing 3 seconds a kilometre. Robbie Stokes was the 2nd fastest on the stage, but even he was 36 seconds down on Padden. Josh Marston faced an impossible task of incurring 16 minutes penalties, but 3rd fastest on the stage. Matt Summerfield in the Andrew Sims Mitsubishi moved up to 4th overall on the stage. Moving 1 place ahead of Rana Horan, who returns to the Rally Championships after missing the first round with a rib injury. Emma Gilmore also moving up on this stage to lie 6th, just 4 seconds back from Horan.
Short left, hug.
First of the older Cat 1A cars, Todd Borden, just 2.3 seconds behind Gilmore in his Evo 6. Kingsley Jones has previously crashed off the road and spun at the finish of Helena, so why change? This spin costing him 13 seconds. Jack Hawkswood made a promising start to the rally. It was going really well until this happened.
5 left flush.
Oh, we've got to play tyre.
Puncture, that's so disappointing for Jack. He showed so much promise on the super special stage and was going to be a real contender.
Stage 4, Tarpoohi, a classic Whangarei stage that's produced some great battles over the years. Haddon's time of 11 minutes 33, shy of his stage record, but still dominant. Ben Hunt, second fastest on the stage, that helping him to close up on second place Robbie Stokes, the gap just 11.5 seconds. Emma Gilmore also improving, third fastest and just 0.1 down on Hunt, moving to fifth overall, 2.5 behind Rana Horan. Jack Hawkswood had a good run through the stage, but had to change another puncture pre-stage, picked up a 30-second time penalty. As the roads dried out, Haddon finally able to challenge his own stage records, shaving 5.7 seconds off the record here.
And you can certainly see that road surface is drying out. It's really going to produce some fast time second time through.
In the battle for second, Robbie Stokes was faster than Ben Hunt by 2.2 seconds, so that gap moving out to 14 seconds. After her third fastest time on stage 4, Emma Gilmore was looking to challenge for the podium.
Man, that was a big explosion. That's frightening at those kind of speeds, and unfortunately, it's terminal.
But she wasn't alone in retiring. Jack Hawkswood had lost 5 minutes with the stage 4 puncture and lost another 30 seconds changing a second puncture before special stage 4. He was on a charge to make up some of that time, but shortly after the spectator point on stage 5, his rally was over. 7 times over, in fact.
The fact these guys were able to walk away relatively unscathed is just a modern miracle.
But not all bad news on the stage. Rana Horan cementing his 4th place, and still very much in touch with Hunt. Matt Summerfield now up to 5th in the Mitsubishi.
And it just shows how competitive this field is. He's not that far off what should be a podium position.
Battles all through the field, not just up front. Duncan Mcrostie in his second rally in the ex-Hawkswood Mazda 2. 9th by the end of the morning. Also in an ex-Hawkswood Mazda, Matt Jensen. This his first rally in the car, but a misfire and puncture holding back his progress. Jono Shapley didn't start round 1 after a mechanical failure on the way to the first stage, but doing much better here. Partnered with the experienced co-driver Crunch Bennett, 11th after the morning stages and in a tussle with rally veteran Brian Green. Green running his stunning new Mirage AP4 car, near close to within 2 seconds of Shapley.
And it's great to see the flames out the back of the car this time. So it's Patton that leads the field after the morning loop. Robbie Stokes in second, Ben Hunt, Rana Horan, Matt Summerfield, Regan Ross, Todd Borden and Kingsley Jones rounding out the top 8.
Stages repeated in the afternoon, which includes the power stage on stage 10. Hayden Pannon again dominating the stages, 5 seconds quicker than the morning run on Helena. On stage 8, Tarpoohi, he was 22 seconds faster than the next car. But behind the ex-WRC driver, the competition was much closer. Robbie Stokes was holding off Ben Hunt for second, the gap down to 5.1 seconds. But he stopped just 5 kilometres into the next stage. Rana Horan should have moved to third, but a late checkout of service had him penalised an extra minute and a half. He made up for it with second fastest time on stage 8. That was enough to move him back to 4th.
And a simple mathematical error certainly seen Rana driving angry.
Ben Hunt was now second overall with Stokes' demise. Ahead of a hard-charging Matt Summerfield, now in third. Todd Borden, the only contender in 1A now, up to 5th overall.
It's a great effort in the old car.
But Kingsley Jones just 0.2 behind the Auckland Denture Clinic R5 Skoda. Hayden McKenzie also moving up, now 7th as he grew confident on the stages on his second run through. But with brake problems, Regan Ross was losing time. Trying to fix the problem pre-stage, he picked up a 20-second time penalty for lateness. After a frustrating morning, Matt Jensen getting on top of his misfire, now 9th, ahead of Duncan Mcrostie. Runner Horan with a superb drive to third overall, taking the place off Matt Summerfield on the final power stage and picking up 4 power stage points. Summerfield just 18 seconds back though, so still in podium contention. Ben Hunt second, showing he's still in contention should Padden have an issue. Hayden Padden clean sweeping the stages on leg 1. Not quite the clutch of stage records that he was looking for, but a very good performance with no issues.
So Padden leads after the opening day, Hunt second, huge battle between Rana Horan and Matt Summerfield for third and fourth. Kingsley Jones a consistent day to fifth, just ahead of Hayden McKenzie. Regan Ross recovering from those brake problems in seventh, and Matt Jensen likewise in eighth.
Day 2 in Whangarei, fine but misty, making for great pictures, but challenging conditions for the drivers, with sunstrike a real possibility. New day, new points on offer for League 2, and Padden wasting no time. Fastest over the opening 2 stages, seemingly not worried by the conditions.
That visibility is just terrible with a combination of sunstrike and dust. Hayden just commits to his notes, and this is where he's got his biggest advantage.
Rana Horan starting the day on a mission, second fastest on the morning stages, but not by much. Matt Summerfield third on stage 11, but on special stage 12 he dropped to fourth behind Josh Marston by just half a second. Struggling through the morning, Ben Hunt, reigning champ, only 6th on stage, but it wasn't too bad as he was within 10 seconds of second place Horan, still held second overall in the rally. The battle for 6th, a 3-way tie between Kingsley Jones' Skoda, Regan Ross's Ford, and Hayden McKenzie in the Mitsubishi. Jones holding off the Fiesta by 10 seconds. Hayden McKenzie right with Ross, just 0.8 of a second back, and really starting to show true gravel speed. Matt Jensen finally had an engine that was running on all 4 cylinders, 9th overall on the opening stages. Jono Shapley rounding out the field for the first 2 morning stages. Stage 13, Millbrook, a favourite roller coaster 8-kilometre super sprint of a stage. Padden's 2019 record, 4 minutes 29.9. This run, 4 minutes 29.9. Josh Marston once again second fastest, and the all-important League 2 points, that would move him third, just 4.7 seconds behind Horan. Hunt moved ahead of Summerfield, yet just 0.1 of a second. Waipu Caves at 22.5 kilometres, the longest of the rally, and quite possibly the most challenging road of the north. Padden's time, 12 minutes 20, just shy of a new record, but impressive nonetheless. Ben Hunt second fastest, and now putting real pressure on Marston in third, and Horan in second. Seems like experience coming into play here. This was an incredibly close battle now. Horan leading Marston by 3 seconds. Marston ahead of Hunt by 3 seconds. And Matt Summerfield just 6 seconds further back in 5th.
And in those overall rally results, Hayden Padden leads with just 4 stages to go. Ben Hunt and Rana Horan second and third, then Summerfield, Jones, McKenzie, Ross and Matt Jensen.
The final 4-stage loop and the mist had lifted, the sun was high in the sky. Padden aiming to lower those stage records from the morning. Mission accomplished on stage 15, shaving 3.4 seconds off the time. You don't need to remind Ben Hunt that after breaking down on round 1, he needs every point he can from the remaining rallies. He charged past Josh Marston and Rana Horan to take second in the league standings, with just 2.6 seconds separating the 3 drivers. But Matt Summerfield would go no further after this.
Oh, you alright? Something's broken. Oh!
He's done really well with little control to keep the car out of the scenery.
Padden would take more stage records on stage 16. While Hunt extended his lead over Horan and Marsden. A great result for Rana Horan to take third on his first rally of the year. Valuable points for him and a confidence boost going to round 3. Ben Hunt scored a stage win on the final stage on his way to second on League 2 and overall. Again, an important points haul after not finishing the first round. Delaminated tyre put paid to Hayden Paddon's perfect ride to the finish, happening on stage 18 with 4Ks to run.
Overall rally results, Hayden Paddon again dominant, Ben Hunt a great second place, likewise for Rana Horan in third. Kingsley Jones a solid fourth, just ahead of Hayden McKenzie, Regan Ross, Duncan Mcrostie, Josh Marston.
Paddon leaves Whangarei with a 47-point lead over Josh Marston, Regan Ross on 40 points and Ben Hunt with 37. Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship season review, and with support of our sponsors Hella, Dunlop and Omega Rental Cars.
Next we went to Timaru, but not Jack Hawkswood after this monstrous crash, and this is the result. His team set about building this brand new car behind me.
Now, of course, these fast roads of South Canterbury, home to Hayden Paddon, those are the roads he grew up on, but also really quick in South Canterbury was young Robbie Stokes, who came in full of confidence after a win at the non-championship Rally Canterbury a fortnight earlier.
Saturday morning, we'll see the cars tackle 3 stages before a service at Fairlie. Stage 2, a slippery forest stage. While the other roads are fast, 3 more stages before lunch, including Spur Road with those stunning views of the Southern Alps. Then 3 stages in the afternoon, and a finish at Levels Raceway with a 4-lap blast around the iconic racetrack. A popular spectator corner, one of the features of Stage 1, with a good crowd braving the frosty conditions. Hayden Paddon starts as favourite on his home rally, with lots of fast straights in the stage. His advantage not as great as we've seen at rounds 1 and 2.
There's some big straights where obviously there's not a heap of opportunity to gain time, but by the same token, there's some seriously fast corners that require big commitment.
Paddon will set the stage time. 8 minutes 26.6, smashing the stage record. Ben Hunt had changed his gearbox ratios to get a higher top speed. Will it be enough?
It's definitely an important factor at Rally South Canterbury to have a good top speed. We expect to see maybe some of the R5 cars struggling a little bit, just being that little bit shorter gear.
Ben's time, 20 seconds slower than Paddon. Robbie Stokes is on form after a win at Canterbury 2 weeks ago. But his rally, short-lived.
6 right, 30.
We'll just pull over up here. I'll just quickly check it's the tyre.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit optimistic, Robbie. It's never a good sign when there's steam coming out of the bonnet.
Josh Marston hoping his Day 2 form from Rally Whangarei would continue. He was second fastest on the stage, with 8 minutes 44.9. Emma Gilmore also hoping that her luck would change. Speed not an issue with her, but she's been plagued with small issues all season that have cost her good results. Well, lucky there, so maybe that's a sign that this will be a better result today. Matt Summerfield, 5th on the stage. This is Mike Young's first rally in the South Island, and he's got plenty of experience in Australia and in the Asia Pacific.
And they run a huge variety of roads in the APRC, but nothing like the fast, flat-out roads of South Canterbury.
Regan Ross slotting into 8th fastest in the R5 Fiesta. Phil Campbell was 6th fastest, but his stick had hold his radiator, so he retired to the service park and would rejoin later in the morning. Todd Borden would slot in behind Regan Ross in the older Evo 6.
And great news for Todd, on the eve of the rally, he got confirmation that his new R5 car is on the final leg of its journey to New Zealand.
And Hayden McKenzie rounding out the top 10 in his Evo 10. Special Stage 2, a totally different road through the forest at Kakahu. Wet and slippery, the prevailing conditions here.
And the average speed for the stage was some 50 kilometres an hour slower. There were so many traps in here, and it was just really important to drive through and have a clean run.
Rana Horan doesn't have much experience rallying in forests, but he's an off-road champion, so a big fan of these conditions. Just 22 seconds off Paddon's pace and moving up to second. Emma Gilmore was looking strong despite that off in stage 1, but but a gearbox issue would stop her on this stage. Josh Marston now third, but he had Matt Summerfield just 14 seconds behind. Summerfield actually moved ahead of Ben Hunt on the stage into fourth, while Hunt struggling for pace in these conditions.
Here's the start of the stage, and you can already see how muddy and slippery it is. Ben Hunt normally relishes forestry roads, but it's really for him just a case of surviving, and he knows that he can make some time back up when we get back on the public roads.
Stage 3, Mulvey Hill Road, the longest stage of the day, back on public roads through farmland. Paddon at home on these roads, this really is his backyard, having grown up in Geraldine.
Boy, and he's using all the road on these super fast roads. That's seriously brave.
Another stage win would put him 1 minute and 20 ahead, but this stage also suiting Ben Hunt, who was able to stretch the legs of his Subaru. Josh Marston was third going into the stage and really finding a rhythm on these roads. But late in the stage, an unavoidable incident left the Holden too damaged to continue. Stage 4, and just 9 cars left after an eventful morning. Paddon continued to lead the way. This stage, though, featured a slow zone, as the road was damaged from recent flooding. This was a way to avoid any further damage to the road.
And this is a fantastic feature of the Rally Safe system we use for timing and tracking that allows us to use a road and keep all the residents happy.
Horan extending his lead in second over Ben Hunt. Matt Summerfield now fourth, 15 seconds behind Hunt, so definitely a podium battle. Regan Ross, less than a minute behind as well. This podium fight would play out over the afternoon stages. Mike Young's team had worked at service to fix the engine issue. He was able to get back to sixth on this stage. Todd Borden was struggling with a centre diff issue and was making life hard. Another half spin here, not helping, as he dropped a place behind Duncan Mcrostie. Mcrostie 29 seconds ahead and just 14 seconds behind Young, but confused about where the start of the 40k zone is. Jono Shapley improving his speed as the day went on. Stage 6, Spur Road, and with views of the Southern Alps as a backdrop, great setting for the power stage. Hayden Paddon first through. With 5 points on offer, there's no holding back.
And with just a handful of points between second and sixth in the championship, these bonus points have proven themselves to be absolutely crucial.
Ben Hunt next through. These points on offer could mean the difference in Ben staying in the hunt for the championship.
And Ben's now won 2 championships, so he understands the importance of every single point.
6 minutes 27.4, that's 15.4 seconds slower than Hayden. Rana Horan next through, but his time just 4.5 seconds slower than Hunt. Matt Summerfield next, he was 7.8 seconds slower again, so looking like the top 4. Phil Campbell would rejoined, and he could take points here, but he was just slower than Summerfield.
And often for competitors who have retired early and are able to fix the car, this power stage is a fantastic opportunity to salvage something from the weekend.
In the end, Regan Ross would claim the final points for 5th on the stage, 3.8 seconds faster than Campbell.
And with Josh Marston's unfortunate retirement and Ben Hunt second fastest, that brings Ben and Regan effectively equal for second in the championship.
So there it is, Hayden Paddon over Rana Horan, Ben Hunt in 3rd, Matt Summerfield 4th, Regan Ross rounding out the top 5, Mike Young, Duncan Mcrostie and Todd Borden completing our set. 4 stages to run in the afternoon. Cricklewood, another fast-flowing stage. Ben Hunt came out firing after lunch, second fastest on the stage, just 5 seconds behind Paddon. Significant because he was taking time out of Horan. Horan 8.4 seconds slower, so now the gap just 34 seconds. Matt Summerfield in fourth, but the gap to Hunt growing to 48 seconds.
Six right minus 50. Then 5 left plus 80.
A spectacular deep river crossing, one of the features of stage 8, and a close call for Hayden Padden. Stalling just before the water.
And I know Hayden's had real issues trying to keep the water out of this car, so as it turned out, could have been a blessing in disguise. You don't want to swallow any water.
That time lost around 8 seconds. Ben Hunt taking a more aggressive approach.
For Ben, he's really got to chase down Rana, so he's got to make up every second he can.
Hunt takes the stage win half a second quicker. Rana Horan okay through the water, but drama at stage end.
It just shows this is not over until it's over. Literally the final corner of the stage, Rana's been caught out, and it's going to take a bit of time to get that car out of there.
That Summerfield next through. Ironically, the force of the water damaging the radiator, he would retire in the stage. Regan Ross making a spectacular splash, but would survive that to move up to third position. Mike Young showing more of the speed we'd expected in the Subaru, third fastest on the stage. And Todd Borden moving up to sixth position. Duncan Mcrostie still in touch with Borden, just 1.4 seconds back in sixth. So just one more gravel stage for the day, Howell Road, a new stage, so no records to be broken. Padden had accumulated a lead of over 3 minutes to Hunt by now, so he could have cruised home, but he didn't. Another stage win. Ben Hunt safe in second spot now and heading for the podium. And Regan Ross booking his podium place, showing that consistency and reliability pay off in this game.
Down care. Then
Mike Young taking a well-deserved fourth place.
120. 8 left 80. Turn to right tarmac.
Todd Borden keeps his lead in Cat 1A, and if the new car is ready for Hawke's Bay, he'll park those points and join Category 1. Mcrostie trailing by a few seconds to be the final finisher in four-wheel drive in sixth. So some playtime to finish the day at Levels Raceway, and some grass cutting by the rally cars to end a tough day. So confirming the results for four-wheel drive, Hayden Padden takes out the rally, Ben Hunt in second, Regan Ross completes the podium in third, Mike Young, Todd Borden, Duncan Mcrostie, Rana Horan, DNF for Robbie Stokes.
So Hayden Padden leads the championship, now 55 points clear of Ben Hunt with 60 points up for grabs over the final two rounds. The runner-up battle is still close though, with Hunt, Ross, Mcrostie, Horan and Marston all split by just 16 points.
Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship season review, and a real treat for rally fans and drivers this year, heading back to the beautiful Hawke's Bay for the first time in 10 years.
And so long had it been since we'd been there that even Hayden Padden didn't have pace notes for this event. One driver that was really jumping in the deep end was Ari Pettigrew, who got the chance to drive the Team Rally Art Mirage AP4 car for the first time.
For the first time in a decade, the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship comes to the sunny Hawke's Bay. Napier is the Art Deco capital of the world. After a devastating earthquake hit in 1931 and flattened the city, the classic Art Deco design buildings filled the city streets and have survived to become iconic. But it's the roads north of Napier that have the drivers excited. 6 stages north of Napier and near to Wairoa, a total of 158 stage kilometres. Stage 1 Waitara has a very fast start and a tricky last few kilometres. Cricklewood, a famous stage starting in Forest and opening at the end, will be used twice. Special Stage 3, Waihi, has the thickest gravel. Mohaka Coach is an old road, spectacular above the Mohaka River. And finally, Waiponger, which will see the cars climb a steep, narrow road above spectacular drops to the valley below. Overcast, cloud and rain the week before means the roads here are soft. Haddon making the most of road position.
And this last shower of overnight rain is exactly what his rivals did not want to see. Any hope of road sweeping effect is now entirely gone, and the road will get slipperier as the cars go through.
Stage time, 17 minutes 53, smashing the stage record. There's no doubt that Ben Hunt is up against it, driving the Subaru, which is longer than the AP4 and R5 cars on twisty stages. The old stage record was 19 minutes 29.8. Hunt's stage time well under that time, 19:10, but he trails Paddon by a whopping minute 16. Rana Horan, the first driver in the running to have no experience on these roads. He's only been competing for 4 seasons.
Oh, and he's overcooked that one. He's in the bank. Oh, and he's lucky to get away with it. That car was right up on 2 wheels.
A dent in his confidence maybe, but still 5.9 seconds quicker than Hunt. Robbie and Amy Stokes would be hoping for a good run here after retiring on Special Stage 1 at South Canterbury.
And they've gone right through this car. They know what they have to do to win rallies at a national championship level. Father Brian's done it plenty of times.
His stage time, second fastest, but wow, nearly a minute off Hayden Paddon's time. Matt Summerfield, 5th fastest, and leading a group of 5 drivers, separated by just a few seconds. Todd Borden just has to finish the rally to take out the Cat 1A prize for the older cars. He was just 1.9 seconds behind Summerfield in his Evo 6. Regan Ross, another 1.7 seconds behind in the Fiesta R5. Mike Young in the Subaru on yet another new rally for him. His driving has mainly been in Asia and Australia. He was 6.4 seconds back and only just catching the car near the end of the stage. And he wasn't the only driver to get loose on that corner. Grant Blackberry having a welcome return to Cat 1 and also an organiser of this rally.
It seems that these production cars are really hard to get turned on the tight, twisty roads around the Hawke's Bay.
Kingsley Jones in the R5 Skoda 9th. Ari Pettigrew had taken over the reins of Brian Green's Mirage AP4 for this rally, having secured the open 2-wheel drive title in his trusty BMW.
And the Team Rally Art guys have trusted Ari with this as a reward for his open 2-wheel drive title. It's a one-off, and for him, finishing is key.
Matt Jensen in 11th and leading Phil Campbell in the other Fiesta AP4.
And Phil's been dogged by a misfire right from the start. Very frustrating after the Timaru speed he showed.
A brand new car for Jack Hawkswood after his huge accident at Whangarei. 13th on the stage after a few brake issues.
And for Jack, him and his whole team have spent a heap of time building this new car. It's understandable that he's easing his way back into it, having only driven it for the first time to the ceremonial start.
Hayden McKenzie stopped briefly in the stage as he struggled to keep the big Evo 10 on the road in these tight, twisty sections.
And it just shows you the advantage of the AP4 and R5 cars. The Evo 10 was a state-of-the-art Group N car, and we can't wait to see what Hayden can do with his Toyota AP4 car at Coromandel.
Duncan Mcrostie in the 3rd Mazda AP4. This the one which Andrew Hawkswood used to win the title in 2017.
And Duncan's absolutely been a pillar of consistency across the year. He's one of only 3 drivers in the top category that's finished every rally.
James Dunlop, normally behind the camera on rallies in New Zealand, but this Subaru has been in the shed for too long, and it was time for James to hand over the camera and take to the steering wheel.
And for James, it's a great way to learn. There's no pressure because a finish will result in a spot on the podium.
There are some stages in New Zealand which have huge reputations, the Motu, Whanga Coast to name a couple, and then there is Cricklewood, surely the star of this rally. It was run at Stage 2 and at Stage 4. Paddon continued his domination, 50 seconds under his own stage record from 2008.
Of course, those were set in Group N cars, and it's a great highlight of how far these cars have come forward.
Robbie Stokes also under that old record, but 46 seconds slower than Paddon, however. He was 18 seconds faster than Ben Hunt and 20 seconds clear of Rana Horan, so he was establishing a clear gap in second. Hunt third fastest and managing to take some time off Horan to close the gap to third.
And this is a graphic illustration of how hard Ben has to drive the car. Look at the wheel inputs that he's constantly having to put in just to get that car to move on these tight and twisty roads.
Regan Ross went off at the start of the stage, and unfortunately his turbo cooked while they tried to get it onto the road. A push in the stage, putting Blackberry into 6th ahead of Mike Young, just 1.2 seconds between these two drivers.
Check it out, Grunter, too, letting it all hang out. So Patton leads the way over Stokes, Horan and Hunt in a huge battle for third, and Summerfield leading the tight battle for 5th.
Patton continued to lead from the front, although he'd been concerned that thick gravel on the stage may have slowed the top 5 cars. Robbie Stokes really cementing his second place here, building the gap to third to over a minute.
And Robbie's shown this pace ever since Whangarei, but we've been waiting for a consistent run to really get a gauge on him.
Hunt took advantage of the road conditions to take third position from Rana Horan. But it was close, with Horan just 3.4 seconds slower through the stage.
And you can see the off-roader within. Look at him using all the road and then some.
A change in 5th place, with Todd Borden 5th fastest on the stage. That was enough to move him up to 5th ahead of Matt Summerfield. But disaster for Ari Pettigrew as the car's computer malfunctioned and he was left to limp out of the stage, hoping to get through stage 4 to service. Stage 4, and while Patton and Stokes held station out front, Rana Horan and Ben Hunt were fighting hard for the podium. Hunt leading Horan going into the stage, the repeat run through Cricklewood. His time 25 seconds faster this time through, but Horan really pushed hard, third fastest in the stage, and that's enough to take back third place. And in the battle for 5th, Matt Summerfield reclaiming the position from Borden. Mike Young also putting in a good time on this second run. He was now 6th, just 4 seconds behind Borden. Grant Blackberry improving to 7th in the Evo 10. Kingsley Jones getting ahead of Matt Jensen. These two battling all morning for that 9th position. But Hayden McKenzie retiring on the stage, leaving Jack Hawkswood in 11th, still with brake issues, so wisely pulling back and looking for a finish. This was the power stage, and with 5 extra points on offer, this could be enough for a provisional championship win for Patton. His time of 11:28.3, smashing the existing stage record, so it's looking good for the Hyundai driver. Robbie Stokes has been the clear leader of the rest of the pack, and once again he was second fastest on the stage to Patton. Rana Horan holding third and able to stretch that lead over Hunt to 15 seconds.
And after it was wet this morning and it's dried out, you can see a swept line emerging, which helps the drivers further back down the order get grip.
Hunt had used up his stock of new tyres, and that was making life hard for the Subaru driver, but his commitment was exceptional. The battle for 5th place also heating up, with Matt Summerfield holding on through this stage. But Mike Young really pushing here, taking the 5th fastest time in 1 point, and now closing to within seconds of Summerfield as he really gets to grip with the Subaru. Todd Borden also right there, finishing the stage under a second behind, setting up a challenge for the final stage. Stage 6, Waiponger, features the spectacular climb up the Darkies Spur Road, a true test of bravery for the drivers. Another finish for Duncan Mcrostie in the Mazda AP4.
And he had 2 punctures early on, but that's about the biggest blemish that Duncan's had all season, and I'd say that that would make him the envy of the whole Cat 1 field.
Jack Hawkswood surviving the stage with brake issues, but a clean finish for the young Auckland driver.
And getting to the finish is not only great for the confidence of Jack and Sarah, it's great reward for all those guys that put all the effort in to get this car here.
Matt Jensen having a close battle with Kingsley Jones throughout the day, finishing 10th, just 30 seconds behind.
And for Matt, he's getting faster and faster every time out. This car is a quantum leap from the production car he was in.
A few engine issues had taken the sting out of Kingsley Jones's attack, but the team finished 9th and in a good mood. Grant Blackberry with a strong finish in 8th on what is his home event. The battle for 5th place would go to the wire. Matt Summerfield was holding 5th at the start of the stage,
5 left 30.
but a super drive from Mike Young puts him 1.8 seconds in front.
4 right minus 70.
However, Todd Borden would have the last say. His time of 13:46.1 would leapfrog him from 7th to 5th.
And Todd's performance under pressure when it counted earned him the hella moment of the rally.
Hunt would have to settle for 4th.
And although it's not a podium, he can be satisfied in the fact that he's absolutely left nothing on the table and given it his all day.
Horan bringing the battered Skoda home in 3rd.
And it's only his 3rd year in the championship, but he's proving himself to be a podium contender wherever we go.
A fantastic day for Robbie Stokes in 2nd.
And this is what we've been hoping to see from Robbie all season. It's a fantastic feeling when everything comes right together, and it's a well-deserved Dunlop drive of the rally.
But a perfect finish for Hayden Padden, rally winner and now confirmed as a 5 times NZRC champion.
And that brings him level with Richard Mason. The pair fought tooth and nail through the early part of Hayden's career, so it'll be extremely satisfying.
Obviously that was a target this weekend, was to try and wrap that up, and bit of a relief, I guess, but huge credit for the whole team. You know, this is definitely a team effort, this one, and what goes in behind the scenes, and yeah, it's awesome for all the boys and everyone that's behind the scenes working so hard.
So it's Padden with another dominant win over Stokes, Horan just holding off that fantastic battle with Hunt for 3rd, and Borden jumping to 5th at the final hurdle.
So there should have been one final round of the championship. Of course, we all know what's happened. So after Hawke's Bay, Hayden Padden with an unassailable lead in the championship is crowned champion. A massive congratulations to Hayden and his champion Hyundai team.
It wasn't all bad news though, Budgie, with the fantastic news that the World Rally Championship is coming back to New Zealand in 2022. We're here at Jacks Ridge. This will be the final power stage. And also, there's a chance to check it out beforehand with the Battle of Jacks Ridge on the 5th and 6th of February.
So that's a wrap of the NZRC Gold Star Championship review. Keep an eye out for the two-wheel drive review coming soon. But for now, from Jacks Ridge, we bid you farewell.